On.
Hey everybody, we wanted to take some time this afternoon to just shoot a quick video and I just need to acknowledge, as we all have felt, there's crazy tension going on right now. It is crazy for all of us, and I even think within the walls of our staff and just the tension that we're feeling with one another and trying to really wrestle through that. In fact, this Tuesday, it's been interesting. I had a chance to sit down with a group of people that really enlightened myself to kind of the struggle that we're facing with all the racial tension, with the things that we're walking through. I myself right now, as I talk, get nervous that I'm going to say something that doesn't make sense, or because of my ignorance and because of my white privilege, that I just don't know. And so I want to own that, and I want to also own that as a leadership team, we're working really hard to educate ourselves on what this means and how to answer and how to respond, because again, I feel like I'm so out of what I really understand and know. So I think that's the first thing that we want to communicate from a staff, that leadership is working diligently to understand and figure this out as best we can, and to have people that really know all that's going on to really help us grasp the need as a church and what we need to do to answer that.
Yeah, and Jim and Jesse are not here. They're out of the office today, or they would have been here. So this is not like some kind of coup. So I also want to talk about the fact that we were on a conference call with Polis today, and the new guidelines for churches. So we have some good news and some not so good news. The good news is that they're not requiring masks to be worn at churches. So that got relaxed from the proposed guidelines that were issued down earlier this week, but we're still under that 50-person cap for churches. And so we tried our very, very best to get the governor to change his mind on that. I'm assuming that will be changing perhaps in the weeks to come, but right now we're still sitting under that 50-person cap. And so obviously opening up a church the size of Flatirons at a 50-person cap does not work for us. And so as we continue to get more information, we'll pass that along to you.
So from a staff standpoint, kind of on the practical side, we've spent the last several months working on a new employee handbook. I think the last one that was when it was updated or printed, it was 2016, so only slightly out of date. But we spent a lot of time working on that, along with articulating clearly and documenting Flatiron's biblical understanding around ordination and roles in the church, pastoral roles. We have that ordination document finished after a lot of work and a lot of discussion and a lot of study, and the employee handbook is now complete, a brand new one. So today those will go out to everybody via email. I want you to know that we want you to read all of it. It's a lot, so we're not going to give you a time limit, but we want you to have a chance to look through all of that and understand. It should give you some perspective on who Flatirons is, what you're signing up for when you become a part of staff here. And we want that to be clear. Clarity is really important for everybody to know that they're fully on board. So read those things. Your leaders, your support and development leaders, campus pastors, they have received those already. We've talked with them a little bit so that you can go to them with questions, you can discuss it with your teams, and then there will be a time in the not too distant future down the road where one of our all-staff in-person meetings will be dedicated specifically to taking all the questions that you have that you will take to your leaders, and then we will address those at that point. So take a look at that when you get that today.
And speaking of staff, the other thing that we've indicated and understood is there's a real need for us to get together. I think people have indicated there's just this disconnect within the walls of our family. And so next Tuesday, we're going to try to figure out how we can bring our staff together to talk through not only what we're facing right now as a church, as a country, but also to pray. I think there's a huge need for us to come together, to bond together and really pray through the things that we're facing. So you'll, again, get something from us probably on Monday saying, here's what we're trying to do, here's what we're going to pull together, or maybe tomorrow. But again, give us some time to see how we can get all the pieces through that together.
Yeah. Also about this weekend, I know given the unprecedented circumstances that we're in right now, we're going to take a break from our current series, and Ben is going to be up teaching. But I just want you guys to know, and I think Jim will speak to this, but this is really a message that both Jim and Ben have crafted. Ben is going to give it. Jim is going to give the opening, and then it'll close. But Ben is going to do the brunt of the teaching this weekend. But those two guys both obviously speak for Flatirons Community Church, and they've been in close communication about what this message would look like. So we're hoping, and I know it's going to be a message of hope and of unity and what Jesus has to say about the times that we're in. So if you would, please pray for those guys this weekend.
Response to that?
Stop.
He got a phone call and it stopped.
Oh no.
Oh, Shanola.
Oh, Chernola.
We were so close. Well,
You
I
were
think
so
thinking
almost
of
to
this weekend. What we really don't want to get lost in everything else that's going on is we've got folks that are excited to get baptized this weekend. We've got staff that are excited and volunteers that are excited to be able to baptize them at all of our campuses. So be praying for those folks as well, and we're looking forward to being able to sort of share the celebration of that with all of you after we get through the weekend. But it's going to be a great weekend.
Hey guys, thank you very much. Continue
Thank
to
you.
keep us in prayer as leadership. Appreciate the feedback that you've been giving us, the grace, the understanding, and obviously I want to thank Beth for being our videographer.
Our cameraman.
As you'll see this, you'll really question our abilities from a tech standpoint. So, all right, you guys, love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See
Bye.
you, bye.
Bye.